I think it's safe to say that there are many different types of race fans out there. Of course, some of them like to cheer on Lightning McQueen, number 95. And there's many others that like to cheer on the one and only Strip the King Withers. And there is even some that choose to support sumo wrestlers? Yeah, I guess, why not? But then, of course, there is a much rarer breed that just doesn't know who they want to cheer on. And that is, of course, where this guy falls into. Today we are taking a look at Brad Winmiler. So welcome back to the Cars Garage, everyone. Of course, today we'll be taking a look at this new 2022 variant of Brad here, the one and only. Of course, he is just a basic race fan, cheering on the Piston Cup in general. Nothing too special, but he does have a pretty cool model. I think it's a pretty unique one that we don't see too often. Only really on one other car, and that is, of course, Michael Sparkler, or Sparkber, I forget exactly how you say his name. Now, this guy was actually first released in 2016 in the main line, I believe in the Race Fan series, but I'm not too sure on that. And then, again, in the very early 2017 short-lived mainline they did before Cars 3 came out. And he really hasn't seen a release since then, so it's nice to get him back 5 years later as a brand new Thailand-made variant, of course, because ever since 2018, Mattel has been making cars in Thailand, and they look quite a bit different. We're already seeing a lot of differences, but I don't have the original Chinese-made one to compare him to, so not really a comparison today, but we'll compare him to some other race fans, of course. Cool artwork. I definitely like it a lot, the expression he has. It kind of sucks that the expression on the actual diecast doesn't look like that. I mean, it looks pretty basic, but the one on the artwork is cool. They always are much nicer looking on the artwork. They're always looking to the right or looking to the left, and then you get them, they look quite robotic as a diecast. But oh well, very nice looking card back here, as seen in Cars, of course. You have Damage the King, which is always nice to see. Winford Bradford Rutherford, but mislabeled as Bruce Miller, unfortunately. Then we even have Dexter Hoover with flag, checkered flag. That is a new variant for the year. Technically, almost all of these are, except for these two. Yellow Hydraulic Ramon, Marlin Clutches McKay, Lightning McQueen with Sign, pretty boring. And then Transforming McQueen, which is pretty cool. He was a new variant, I believe, yes. Technically, all of these were. I mean, can you really say that's a new variant? It's really just McQueen with a plastic sign accessory. But yeah, this is a really nice looking car. Hasn't been released all that much throughout the year. I don't think he's a hard one to find, but then again, I never really found him in store. But this one I got for Christmas, and I was told it came from a Canadian Tire, so that's kind of an interesting spot to see this guy hanging on the pegs, but I'll take it. I don't have a second one, unfortunately, but oh well, I'm still going to open this one because I really wanted to get him out of the package. I definitely need some more race fans to add to my collection. I added Donna Pitts this year. Oh wait, not Donna Pitts, this is Darla Vanderson, what am I saying? Yeah, she was a new one for me this year, and this is another new one. And one that was actually brand new for the year was Keith Cohn right here. Brand new race fan. Very cool looking simplistic minivan. And that is a nice expression right out of the movie. This expression, well, not so much. But anyways, without any further ado, let's get Brad all out of his plastic prison here. Brad is all out of his packaging here, and he looks pretty darn good, I would say. I don't know why people give him such a hard time, because he's actually pretty cool. He's a model that we don't see too often, and not only, he doesn't just have one piston cup, but he actually has two piston cup accessories. So I think it's a pretty darn cool car. Very odd looking bumper there, though. It's like a weird line running through the middle and then two on the sides. It's very plasticky looking, unfortunately. That's one of the downsides with Thailand cars. Every time they do a bumper, pretty much, it's always this weird looking plasticky silver, and it's not chrome at all. The only one they do really good on is Sheriff, which is odd. But anyways, yeah, very simplistic looking, like light cream yellow color. I better get Sarah Wilson out later, because it looks like the exact same color as her. And this is a model that, yeah, we just don't see very much of. Like I said, only ever otherwise on Michael Sparkler, I think. Who is, well, I mean, not the exact same mold, because obviously he's full of rust. one of the Rusty's tent cars. This is a much cleaner version of Michael, I guess. Nice looking detailed grille there on the front. Nice little headlights there. Thailand does a good job of detailing stuff like that. It's more the decals where they struggle with. He's like a very boxy looking two-door sedan. Pretty cool. Very simplistic gray rims. And he does have a plastic eye plate, which is weird. A lot of new cars that are like new variants, they don't usually put plastic eye plates on anymore. Except for Piston Cup racers, they usually do them for those. And the one weird thing I actually thought he was an error at first, because he's got this weird black line, or like this weird black oval on the back of him. But I guess that's supposed to be there. I looked them up online and saw some others. Sure enough, they all had the same thing, so I thought mine was an error. That would have been cool, but unfortunately not. That's why I didn't really care about opening them. But on the back, he's got a very cool looking license plate. I don't know what country that, it looks like it's supposed to be France. It says B4D17. Very cool. His taillights look pretty good too. Let me take that off camera to read for a second. I don't know, it looks like it says New Cone State. I don't know, I guess New York State? The weird part about that is, New York is in planes and it's called New York, so why is it called New Cone in cars? I don't know. Maybe that's not what it says, I'm not really sure. I'm not great with geography, but that does appear what it says. It looks like the France colors of the flag, but I don't think that's what it means. Probably, oh yeah, but anyways, very cool looking taillights as well. Yeah, all this trim on him really should be chrome, like the rims and everything. When I was looking at the Chinese made variant, even the mirrors and everything, that should all be chrome. And it comes across more as gray, so I don't know. I would say this is probably not as good as the Chinese one. There's really no decals for them to screw up on though. So that's a plus, I guess. They did a good job on the Piston Cup trophy on top. Well, this one's just a nice green one. Looks good on his antenna there. But this one looks pretty nice in gold. It's much nicer looking than the one that came in the 2022 Mini Racers Advent Calendar, which was basically a cheap looking yellow. But technically it's not really 100% accurate. It should be more yellow than gold. I won't complain though, because I do like how it looks in gold. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that bumper. I don't think that looks very good with the lines running through it. Obviously not supposed to be like that. They did a pretty good job matching up the color on the eye plate though. Not too bad, Mattel. And here is Sarah Wilson. To compare him, I wanted to compare the colors because they're pretty similar, but not exactly the same, I guess. Brad's definitely a little more dark of the yellow, I would say. Yeah, she is a camera worker, I guess a cameraman. Not really a race fan. I'm sure she enjoys the races as well. And to compare him to some other rather boring race fans, I feel like I just did this when I reviewed Darla Vanderson. We've come a long way since then. That was my second review. Here is Timothy Two-Stroke. These are all the Chinese-made variants. Although most of them were released as Thailand variants this year, or last year now, in 2022. Here's Marty Breakburst. Very simple, small, little car, also supporting the Piston Cup. Now, the more I look at these race fans, the more I realize most of them are just supporting the Piston Cup in general, and no specific race fans, which is strange. You'd think Mattel would release some cooler ones. Like, I'd like to see some race fans supporting some more exotic racers, like, I don't know, Enduro Cola, Leakless. That'd be cool. Oh, by the way, this is Kit Revster. Last time on my review of Darla Vanderson, I keep calling her Donna. I actually couldn't remember that guy's name, but yeah, Kit Revster. Christina Wieland, also supporting the Piston Cup. She's got a pretty cool flag, and she's quite a unique model. So I wouldn't mind her getting re-released soon. She was just released not too long ago in that big 11 pack as a Vietnam-made variant. And here's another one I forgot the name of last time, JW. It's just a simple Piston Cup truck. Very cool model of truck though. I wish we'd get some more similar models like this. Very slim. But yeah. Now, yeah, this guy is actually named off of, one of the, I think the visual effects artist or something like that actually worked on Cars 2, named Brad Winmiler. So interesting that they chose to name him after someone from Cars 2. I think Mattel originally thought this guy appeared in Cars 2. Because now that I think of it, I think he was first released in the 2016 Piston Cup Race Fan series, which actually had a Cars 2 background. So it's very possible they thought he appeared in Cars 2, but luckily they know now that he appeared in Cars 1. And actually, the exact race he appears in, or at, I should say, is the Los Angeles International Speedway race. Tiebreaker race, of course, at the very end of the movie. And yeah, he does share the same model as Michael Sparkburr. I kept calling him Sparkler, but it is Sparkburr, I guess. Hopefully we can get him soon as a new Thailand variant. It's more possible that we will now, that they already had the mold for this guy, because they are the same, pretty much the same mold. Not much else to say about him, though. He is a pretty simplistic car. Although I do like these smaller background characters. I think it's nice when they release them. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time on the Cars Garage.